Oh man, these episodes were intense. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Did Views, and heavy spoilers for My Hero Academia Season 6 Episode 24, You Have Been Warned. So it's been a while since I last talked about My Hero Academia, but I finally caught up to the recent episode, and I gotta be honest with you, I think these are some of the best My Hero Academia episodes of all time. I mean, wow. I mean, just the writing, the animation, the directing, the performances. Deku's action sequence with Lady Nagant was just beautiful to watch. The way he was whipping around, flying around like he was Spider-Man. I love the scene where even though All Might doesn't have his powers and some of the villains and civilians just see him as this weak, skinny man, he just has this fierce presence that no one can just match. Deku and Lady Nagant's fight also had a lot of emotional moments. Her flashback of her being an assassin by the Commission to kill corrupt heroes and also villains. The scene of the kids looking up to her and just adoring her, yet she just cannot bring herself to shake their hands because she has killed so many heroes that I'm sure those kids have loved. So she isn't this all good person that these kids look up to. How this sort of corrupt society has really messed with her mentality. I love how Deku starts to realize that the world isn't split in two, good people and bad people, villains and heroes, that everyone has a bit of light and dark within them, that the world is just mostly grey, which does reflect upon our own world. I love the shot of Deku reaching out to Nagant, which is very similar to the shot where Ida rescues Deku. Nagant then explodes by the power of All For One, and Deku is mad. Honestly, I think Deku is just spooked by All For One now, especially his little talk with him in that building, telling Deku that it's his turn next. Very similar to the All Might moment, but this time it's not very heroic or heartfelt. It was pretty sad seeing All Might just running after Deku and him not being able to catch up to him. Deku doesn't really turn around to look at All Might anymore like he used to. All Might in Deku's eyes is just someone he needs to protect, which is very jarring from where we were in episode 1 of this show. All Might is just so devastating, and man, it's so sad seeing All Might like this. He just doesn't want Deku to keep carrying this heavy burden. Deku is so headstrong that he isn't even thinking about his appearance and the way he may look to other people. Some people look at him like he's some sort of villain. Even when my boy is in the arms of a villain and he can't find a way out, he's still thinking of ways to get out, but deep down he knows he's in a pickle. Bakugo and his friends all come to rescue him, and after reading the letters, they are all determined to get Deku back because he is one of their own. What great friends, and not just the friends, but even the teachers. Principal Nezu still considers Deku as a member of My Hero Academia, and he even wants him to come back as well, despite the secrets between him and All Might. Man, the fights between him and his classmates was pretty emotional. Everyone telling Deku all the times that he rescued them and saved them, helped them out in any way. But honestly, I think it was Ida's moments that really hit hard, because Ida's the only one to truly understand what Deku was going through, due to the fact that back in season 2, he was going to get revenge for what Stain did to his bro. But Deku and Shoto came to rescue him, show him the light and hope, and now it's Ida's turn to do the same. The icing on the cake was Bakugo's turn to talk, telling him that the reason why he bullied him was because he always felt like Deku was always ahead of him. So by putting him down, it would probably boost his ego a little bit and make him feel better, but Deku kept moving forward. Bakugo apologizes to Deku but doesn't call him Deku, he calls him Izuku, which is the very first time Bakugo has ever acknowledged Deku by his name, telling Deku how sorry he was for everything he did to him up until now. Deku realizes that, damn, he thought that he was ahead of everyone with his powers, but no, he acknowledges that they were already ahead of him. Where we come to the most recent episode, and my gosh, Ochako's voice actress, Ayane Sakura, my gosh. This might have been her greatest performance of Ochako to date. The way she screamed to the crowd who were absolutely anxious about having Deku being around them. The crowd are just so wrapped up in their own fears and worries that they just cannot acknowledge what Deku was going through. And Ochako is just telling them to look at him, the crowd realizing that, damn, he's just a kid, he's so battered and bruised. But then there's this one guy who's just constantly howling and just complaining and whining, but to be honest with you, he's just scared. I feel like in some alternative universe, if Deku never had this power and he was quirkless, he may have been one of these screaming civilians. And then after all that, this one guy in the crowd acknowledges that he felt more or less like a bystander, just watching these heroes perform, and then when the stage was completely gone, so were the heroes, as they kept resigning one by one. It's like what Deku said a couple of episodes back, how the world isn't black and white, but there's a lot of grey. All it takes is for one bad day to completely change someone and well and truly bring out the ugly side of humanity. But I do love how the crowd acknowledges Deku, and even the one screaming guy walks up to Deku and helps him, gives him the umbrella. Seeing Kota just running up to Deku and him bawling his eyes out, wanted to help Deku as well, just the same way that Deku helped him. Deku from episode 1 has always gone above and beyond the call of duty to save people and help them out. So it's great seeing everyone else helping out Deku, and in a way, being the heroes that Deku truly needs. Really touching stuff right there. But to be honest with you, I don't think that would have gone well if Endeavor, Hawks and Shota were in the crowd. So it was a good job keeping them out. But these episodes were pretty damn touching, emotional, and some of the best written episodes of all of My Hero Academia. Regular civilians just look at heroes like some sort of gods sent from the heavens to help and save and bless them all, but I don't think most of these civilians realize that at the end of the day, that these heroes are just people. People with a lot of fears, worries, anxieties, love, hope and all that jazz, just like regular civilians. So I'm gonna give this episode and all the episodes that I missed out a 10 out of 10 and an A star. What did you think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like this video, subscribe for more anime reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings and more. Thank you for watching, and as always, a boy do the view, signing out.